What's going on here, everybody? This is Calen Johnson coming to you from my home out here in Douglasville, Georgia. Just got back in the house from doing some shopping, and I'm also just like halfway getting over a sickness, head cold, allergy, whatever I was going through this morning after having worked uh, some long shifts at my job with this non-profit organization based out of Atlanta. I was working at Phillips Arena over these past 3 days for the circus, working at one of their concession stands. And I did that 3 days in a row. And during those periods of time, I was not home. So, I was out and about in Atlanta, spending the night in Atlanta. And during those 2 nights that I was in the city, I did not get a decent amount of sleep. And apparently that was one of the reasons as to why I ended up waking up with a head cold. Temperature was high. Nasal passages all clogged up. But I'm here. Instead of just lounging around having a pity party over the fact that I was feeling sick and wasn't able to make it to work today, I got my ass up and got some work done. And I started moving around and stuff. Like I said, I just got back in the house because of my current situation right now. It takes about anywhere from 45 to 50 minutes to get to the store. So that was a good walk for me. So that was a good thing because it gave me an opportunity to sweat and get my energy up in order to push out the remaining sickness that's still in my head right now. But the reason I'm recording this video as well as putting this within the blog that you're reading right now is I was just thinking about everything that I've been through up to this point in my life, and why I feel like I'm even more serious and even more focused now to succeed in network marketing, music, just business overall. Earlier I mentioned I was in the city, right? And I was doing what I had to do to make sure that I made it through made it through those past 3 days. But I was on my way to work on this past Sunday. I was walking down Peachtree at the time, and I just so happened to witness something that I don't even remember if I've ever seen this like before in this capacity. You know how some folks have their bread lines for the homeless, or just a line of people waiting to get food or waiting to get shelter or whatever the case may be. Well, I saw that for the first time ever. And I knew that they existed, but to actually sit there and just bear witness to it. And actually, I take that back. This isn't the first time, but it's the first time in a long time. I've seen something similar to this years ago, but this is the first time in a long time that I've seen this, and it kind of ended up making me feel some kind of way. Meaning, like, not necessarily, yeah, they're feeling sorry for them, but at the same time, also caused me to reflect on everything that I've been through and where I want to go, where I desire to go, and where I will be headed to, and I am headed to in my life when it comes to succeeding in all aspects of life: business, music, network marketing, relationships, family life, the whole nine. Well, I'm bearing witness to this bread line, and it had to be about no, maybe 30. The line was long. It looked like it was about maybe like 20, 30, 40 homeless people. The majority of them being black men, waiting in line to get food from this truck in the middle of the freezing cold. Because even though it was like during the 1 o'clock hour, it was cold as hell that day. It was very cold, yet they out there waiting in line, get food to survive another day out on the streets. And it just made me really think back of everything that I've been going through these past 5 years being down here in Douglasville, which was nobody's fault but mine when it came to certain mistakes that I've made, the way that I handle my finances, the way that I handle situations, and and I know a lot of you can relate to this too, which is the reason why which is the reason why you've been led to this video in the first place. And I mean, long story short, I've had a little bit of success with being able to bring in money, but because of selfish ways, because of uh, not having uh, financial responsibility, not taking responsibility over my finances, being able to save money, reinvest money. I spent more than I made, which led me into the position I'm in right now with my fair to poor credit score. I've had multiple bank accounts closed down on me because I had a negative account balance. I'm up in doing wishful thinking, thinking with my emotions as opposed to really looking at the big picture. You have to act on your emotions, but at the same time, when it comes to certain situations, you still have to have some kind of logic mixed in with it. And I was kind of lacking. I was lacking in both arenas, and from taking responsibility in my jobs, quitting jobs too soon, being fired from really good jobs because I didn't know how to take responsibility of getting there to work on time and things of that nature, and procrastination, waiting until the last minute to do shit, and which is one of the reasons why the car that I've been using broke down on me back in April 2011, and since then I have been without a car this whole time that I've been in the middle of nowhere here in Douglasville, Georgia. And I do not live on the Douglas County side. I live on the Paulding County side. For those of you who live in Douglasville, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about nothing but trees, long roads, farmlands, bulls, cows, horses, goats, the whole nine. I live in the country. You have to drive to get from point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? And I say all of this not for your remorse. I'm not saying this for you to feel sorry for me. I'm saying all this to show you that despite everything that I've been through, there are people out here who have gone through and are going through 10 times worse than me. I may be temporarily without a car, but at least I still got a roof over my head. And I'm thankful that I survived this long, being in between jobs and stuff. And I have people out here that I've taken their sacrifice and I've taken their belief in me for granted. That ain't good. You know what I'm saying? How in the world do I expect myself to be a leader to others when I can't even take responsibility for my own personal situations and stuff? Well, all of that has changed. A lot of that has changed this past month. Things are getting better. I'm on the job hunt search on just to the 10th uptick power right now. And I'm thankful for the job that I do have, and I'm even more thankful for the second job I'm about to get in order to get things back rolling with being able to take care of my own personal finances and household finances when it comes to rent, bills, and the whole nine. And I'm doing this with the understanding that me having this job is temporary. It's only temporary in order to help me be in a position to grow my business. So if you're watching this right now and you are broke, you don't have a job, but you want to build a business in your current state right now, I'm going to tell you right now, do what you have to do to make sure that you have the investment in whatever business that you're trying to do, be it online or offline. Sell stuff. Stop watching TV. Sell the TV. Sell the radio. Sell the things that you know you do not need in order to help you get that laser sharp 100% focus on what it is that you have to do. And if you're like me and don't have things to sell, if you're like me, you don't have things to sell and you don't have a job, well, guess what? Looks like you're going to have to get a job. And if at all possible, 2 jobs. And save your money. Save your money at no less than 10%. More if possible. You know what I'm saying? And then reinvest that money into your business. Okay? Reinvest that money. And you cannot sit around here thinking that everything is just going to fall into your lap and thinking that you can just pray over it and then all of a sudden everything's just going to fall into place. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm getting over a cold right now. So you have to excuse me if I end up, wiping my nose every now and then. But you can't do this thinking that you could just sit around and be lazy, thinking that everything's going to fall into place. You gotta be putting in some kind of work. Okay? You gotta get off your ass. You gotta get off Facebook. You gotta get off YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You got to do the things necessary that you may not feel like doing. The things that make you feel the most uncomfortable are the things that you're going to have to do in order to achieve success. And a lot of you don't want to succeed badly. And it shows in your actions. It really, really shows in your actions. I heard the motivational speaker Eric Thomas in this presentation he had for a bunch of high school students. He said something that I'm seeing a lot of people saying now, but it rings so true. If you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. A lot of you out there don't want it bad enough. You know, a lot of you love being lazy. A lot of you love lollygagging, wasting time on the boob tube as well as YouTube, wasting time shooting the shit on Facebook, and a lot of you even love sleep more than you love success. Like I said, things are different now. I went through 3 days, these past 3 days, working long shifts during the circus, dealing with people all day, having to spend 2 nights out of that period in Atlanta, not getting a lot of decent sleep, not sleeping in a bed. The majority of the time I'm sitting in a chair, falling asleep, and then getting up, not getting 6 hours of sleep straight, but yet doing what I had to do in order to make this money, to keep this roof over my head and still run this business online, as well as still make my music and prepare for my Life Music Volume 1 mixtape to release, while preparing to release a brand new single, Pay Your Dues. You know what I'm saying? I was willing to lose sleep in order to make this stuff happen. You got to be willing to give things up. You got to be willing to make some sacrifices that you could do without for the time being, to put in the work. And I am so glad that I have people in my life, leaders who are achieving massive success online, that have been where I am right now. Because that just shows me that if they can do it, I can do it too. I definitely see myself in a completely different situation than where I am right now. I'm going to do this. I am doing this now. And I am in the process of building a phenomenal business right now that is, as we speak, changing the lives of so many people that don't know jack about network marketing, that don't know anything about blogging, that barely even know how to use a computer, but yet are making 5-6 figures a month right now as we speak. I'm going through training right now that is changing my life for the better this very second as we speak. And I'm in the process of reaching out to as many people as possible about this business because I know where it's going to take me. But even more importantly than that, I know where it's going to take them. I know where this is going to take you. I've gone through the grind before. I know how it feels to build something only to have nothing come in. Spending countless amounts of money on things that you think is going to work, but is not really working for you. I'm so glad that I found something that actually works. The money I've made so far was without a whole bunch of effort. I didn't have to pound the pavement. I didn't have per se on the phone. I didn't have to spend hours calling people just to make this money. I didn't have to hound grandma. I didn't have to hound my family for this. And I know that if this could set the foundation for me, that I know it can for you. In the next few months, I'm looking to help at least 5 to 10 people make their first $1,000 online. And if that's one of you, if you have been in the grind, if you have gone through months, damn near years of trying to make this internet marketing, this network marketing thing, this online marketing thing, however you want to put it, work, and it hasn't been working for you, and you've been looking for the solution that will change your life, change your friend's life, change your family's life, then there's only one thing that you need to do right now. You need to click on the link below this video. You need to enter in your information. And you need to check out the information that's presented to you while you make a decision to get started right now with this team. All it takes is you making a decision and taking massive and immediate action. Not worrying about the how, not worrying about whether this is going to work or not, just knowing and having a certainty that it is going to work, and this is the end all be all. And I promise you, this is not an accident. This is no accident that you're watching this video right now. We're in this together because 9 times out of 10, you are in the same boat as I am right now. Except I'm not making any goddamn excuses. I'm not making any excuses. I'm doing what I gotta do right now so that way, months from now, by the middle of this year, by the end of this year, I will be in a completely different situation than where I am right now. And I'm saying this on tape, and that is my intention. I'm showing you my seriousness right now. And that's the type of leader that you need in your life right now if you don't have them. Someone who is very transparent about where they are and is serious about wanting to help people. You know? I don't care where you are in your life right now. If you are serious about wanting to make a change and wanting to make a difference, then you'll go ahead and click that link below and get started. Simple as that. And there really is nothing more that I need to say other than you need to take massive and immediate action, and you need to stop making excuses. Those homeless men that I saw out there in that line, they're survivors. They're doing what they got to do to survive. They're not making any excuses. And I guarantee you, if this opportunity was in their hands right now, If they had this opportunity, I would guarantee you that they'd be successful in a blink of an eye right now, because they're not making any excuses and they got that grind in their heart. And I am thankful for the fact that I am developing that grind that I didn't have before. That grind that I didn't have prior to my old YouTube account being taken down. Prior to all the videos that I did. Prior to me getting started with this business. And even prior to now, after having been in the business for months. I'm taking this shit seriously now. And I'm not afraid to admit that I was lollygagging about this before. But not anymore. I'm only looking for serious people. And if you are not going to be serious about this, then you need to stop what you're doing right now and just leave. Okay? I want people who are going to run with me for the next 30, 60, 90 days. And I'm being like dead ass serious about this. Okay? I'm being dead serious. I'm only looking for people who are going to run with me. If that's you, then stop wasting time, alright? Click on that link, enter in your information, and make a decision to get started right now with this business that we're running. Alright? Until next video, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.